2025 has not so quietly become the year of the non-distilling producer, the NDP, if you would. One of the largest providers to those NDPs is MGP, or Midwest Grain Products, or what they call themselves, Ross and Squibb, whichever. I will always know them as MGP. But we're going to take a look at my favorite MGP-produced whiskeys. Roll that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey, the internet's most okayest whiskey review channel. I am, of course, your host, T-Rod, and if you have found yourself here, well, sorry about it, but strap in, it's going to get fun. So tonight, what we're going to look at is a number of bottles from non-distilling producer labels. So what that means in a nutshell is you don't have your own distillery, but you do have your own whiskey label. Got to get your whiskey from somewhere because you're not making it yourself. So you're going to buy it from someplace, like in this case, MGP, or maybe Bardstown, Green River. Sagamore has gotten into some sourcing. But specifically tonight, we're going to look at MGP and my favorite bottles of MGP whiskey. Now, they come in a various different assortment of sizes and flavors and profiles, but we're just going to jump right into it. I do want to precurse this with the fact that just because it is sourced whiskey does not make it any worse than anything else. Okay, lots of distilleries start out by sourcing their whiskeys. Just because they need a little bit of help getting started, it's not a bad thing. And honestly, MGP makes some of the absolute best whiskey around. It is hard to beat some higher aged MGP, and an MGP rye, even at a younger age, is going to hit really, really hard. So we're just going to jump right in, no particular order here. First one up, this is one of my favorites. I got a ton of these single barrels down here. This is Old Scout. Now, some of the really old single barrels of Old Scout from back in the days of yore were like 10, 11, 12 years old. I think some of the 13-year ones were MGP, but a lot of those were Dickel. And while I like them, I realize it's not everybody's particular profile, but these are getting to be really, really good again. Some of these 7-year-old single barrels are flavor bombs. Now, for whatever reason, the Old Scout ones always seem to have a little bit of a leathery, tobacco-y kind of funk, and I believe it's because they source the whiskey but then age it in Virginia. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I know that I like the profile that is coming out of Old Scout. Their bourbons are absolutely fantastic. Once you get up past that 4-year age statement, and even at 4 years, they're still good, but 6, 7 years, so good. And they have managed to keep the prices on these down around that $50 price range, which is really affordable in today's economy. All right, the next one. This one was a big deal last year because it made Fred Minnick's list, and it evidently out-tasted a George T. Stagg. That might be the case, but the cork certainly didn't. This is just kind of a replacement one I have in here, but this is a Smokeye Hill. Now, this is a really unique one because this is a blue corn bourbon. Well, some of you are saying right now, wait a second, Trevor, MGP does not make a blue corn bourbon. Well, you would be correct because this was contract distilled at MGP for Smokeye Hill. This is really good. This is probably one of the top 5 best bottles in this speakeasy. My opinion, you don't have to agree with it. I know some of the other batches, people are saying, oh, the batches after the initial one weren't as good. Okay, well, you can believe that. I haven't tried them, so I'm not going to comment one way or the other. All I know is that this thing hits hard. It is absolutely delicious, unique flavor profile, 131 proof. Love the bottle shape, stands out above all others. The cork that came with this snapped off, unfortunately, but it's a very hefty metal cork, and I love the whole presentation on this one. So if you guys are in a state where Smokeye Hill is sold, I haven't tried the white label, but the blue label is really good. You know, different types of corn are going to evoke different flavor profiles. I'm not always the biggest fan of Bloody Butcher corn, but blue corn has yet to burn me. So if you can try one of these, I highly recommend you doing so. Cardinal Spirits, barrel proof. MGP-sourced bourbon, but these guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Putting out a barrel proof aged 5 years, like around $54.99 here in Michigan. On my very first trip to Kentucky, I actually stopped by the Party Source and they had a bottle of Cardinal Spirits barrel proof single barrel. And while that bottle has sadly left us, I grab these fairly regularly because they finally got into the state of Michigan. I think the stuff that Cardinal Spirits is putting out is amazing. If anybody from Cardinal Spirits is listening, if you guys feel so inclined to, maybe send your boy a bottle of the Hoosier Gold, would love to review that. I've been seeing people online drinking it, tasting it, having a general great time with it, and I'm just over here thirsting for it. So if you see this green bottle with the red triangle, like, definitely grab it. It's affordable, it's accessible, and it's good whiskey. Some of these single barrels actually can run with a lot of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs at like half the age statement and like 60% of the cost. Now, not all of them are going to be like this, because some of the single barrels are going to definitely be not as good, but I have not had a bad one as of yet. So Cardinal Spirits barrel proof says right on the front, aged 5 years. Get you some of that. You're probably going to like it. Coming out of Tennessee, we have King's Family Distillery. The people at King's are absolutely amazing people. They sent me a very generous care package, and I am exceedingly grateful for that. I'm also exceedingly grateful for this. This is their bourbon coming in at 107 proof. This thing is an absolute fruit monster. So good. It will punch your taste buds right in the face. It is so good, so flavorful. I love it. I hope that it gets distributed here in Michigan sooner rather than later, but honestly, their whole lineup is just amazing. Love the whole package presentation. The whole lineup just does different colors, but the labels are relatively similar. Looks beautiful sitting on a shelf. I have a whole section of a shelf dedicated to King's Family down here in the Speakeasy, but I mean, it's just a straightforward classical bourbon with tons of fruit notes. And honestly, that's really what you need sometimes. You're not looking for something to reinvent the wheel. You're not looking for something that's going to, take you into outer space. Sometimes you just want a really good classical drinking experience. And I think that's what this does. It is very nice. Plus, King's is doing all kinds of cool stuff. Now they're getting into light whiskeys. Their Rye Conic is one of my absolute favorite ryes in the world. I didn't choose it for this list because I talk about that bottle so much, and they honestly put out so many good products. I wanted to talk about a different one. I would take any one of their bottles, from their Tennessee whiskey to the bourbon to the Rye Conic to the regular twice barreled rye. I mean, all of them are just chef's kiss. So good. If you live in a state where you can get access to King's Family, like, dude, lucky you, and send me some. All right, this guy, this is the heaviest hitter on this list. One of the heaviest hitters on this list. It gets better after this too. This is the Old Soul, specifically the tin type. This is 7-year. What is the proof on this? This is the 2022 release, so 122.3 proof. The tin type series, I know the type 2 was not as great, but the type 1 is a absolute beast. It is so good. It is just dark fruits and caramels and molasses, brown sugars. Just amazing. Honestly, all the Old Soul bottles are really good, but the tin type is my favorite. Old Soul's been doing some really great sourcing, aging down there in I believe it's Mississippi, right? I got this wrong on the last video, and I always forget where it's coming out of. Please hold. Yes, Mississippi or Missouri? Missouri. Whatever MS is. I forget. But yeah, Cathead Distillery, they're sourcing, but they're putting out some awesome stuff. The climate down there is exemplary for aging whiskey, and these are evidence of that. Those barrels are going to be amazing when they're done maturing, and the stuff they're putting out now is fantastic. Can't go wrong with it. You can't. You cannot make a mistake picking up a bottle of Old Soul. Whether it's a single barrel, it's a barrel proof, it's one of the 7-year-old ones. Do they have a 7-year-old? No. One of the 2022, like the batch releases, like I can't say enough good things. So good. I have a ton of them. I have a whole shelf of them. This next one is from a brand that gets a little bit of hate, at least in the groups that I run with. This is the Redemption Rye, but specifically this is the 10-year-old Redemption Rye, and this is coming in at 116.3 proof. You can still find these sitting on the shelf. 10-year-old Redemption Rye is at cask strength for less than $100. Guys, that math does itself. It is a no-brainer. It is a 95.5 rye at 10 years old, 116 proof, which falls perfectly into my proof range. That is 100% my wheelhouse. The bottle is cool. It's got the squat bottle. It's got the glass with the little air bubbles in it. Very characterful like that. I mean, it's just, it says right up front, 95.5 mash bill. I mean, transparent. What's not to love, guys? If you see these, the 9 years are good, the 10 years are better. I think there are some that are getting to be a little bit older, but I can't say for certain. But I mean, this is a batch 3, bottle number 6304, whether that matters to you or not, I don't know. But Redemption, some of these older ryes, definitely worth the snag. Next, this is a light whiskey from MGP for Hoot and Young. This is their 16-year, 125. Yeah, 16-year, 125 proof. This is the Jack Carr Warrior Poet edition. This thing is an absolute butterscotch bomb. It evokes feelings of like handy snacks like butterscotch pudding, Werther's Originals caramels. It's just sweet. And I personally love light whiskey. I know there's people that don't like it. They say it's too corny, it's too sweet, it's not for them. Well, cool. Whatever you guys don't want, go ahead and give to me because I think it's absolutely fantastic. The stuff coming out of MGP is amazing. They're putting out really, really good whiskeys. I specifically like this bottle because, you know, Jack Carr, he was a Navy SEAL for 16 years. You got the hatchets on there. It's just kind of an ode to Jack Carr and his career in the service. If you guys have seen The Terminal List, if you've seen Dark Wolf on Amazon, those are both his books that have been turned into series starring Chris Pratt and Taylor Kitsch, and then also that dude from Umbrella Academy. I forget his name. I want to say his name is Jack something, but it doesn't really matter. This is MGP-sourced whiskey. Super good, super amazing light whiskey. Penelope is putting out high-aged light whiskeys now that are also really, really amazingly tasty and delicious, which actually leads us into our next bottle, and that is Penelope. I chose to showcase, this is one of their estate collection bottles. This is a 10-year. This is the 60-36 4% blend. Any of these 36% ryes are usually going to be just absolute bangers. A lot of these MGP blue labels behind me are, I'm sorry, Mayor Pingree blue labels behind me are MGP-sourced, and a lot of those are 36% ryes. I only think I got like 2 that are the 21%ers, but specifically these Penelope ones have been like the money barrels. So good. I think they were called, this one was called Bottle of the Year. I think it was Dan Shook from the Bourbon Junkie said this could compete with Bottle of the Year. I know they got some 13-year-old ones coming out now too, which I have not been able to get my hands on that because I'm just not that fortunate and financial constraints are a thing. And until I'm Hollywood enough to get media bottles from Penelope, you know, media bottles, I'm going to take whatever I can get, and I'm going to do it with a smile on my face, especially if it's 10 years old, the 36% mash bill. That's just how I roll. I did recently get a 12-year-old single barrel store pick, the same mash bill, but I haven't gotten a chance to try it yet, so I don't know how good it is or not. And for transparency's sake, I wanted to make sure it was stuff that I have tried. But this is definitely far and away my favorite right now. If you guys see these, the 9 years are also good, but they're not single barrels, they're blends. These 10 years are single barrels, and I believe the 11 and 13 years, those are also single barrels. So something to grab up for sure. But that's the list, guys. If you have made it this far, you have earned the right to find out what this episode's mystery pour is. So, without further ado, Old Scout Rye, also sourced from MGP. This one's an OHLQ pick from, I think, 2023, 24. This is 5 years old and 114.8 proof. This thing is so good. It's like juicy fruit gum with rye spice and a little vanilla. One of my favorite ryes down here. Unfortunately, it's a single barrel, so it's going to be gone sooner than later because I keep going back to it in the winter months. That's what whiskey's here for. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be shared with people. So, unfortunately, it can't last forever, and I'm of the belief that there are always going to be tasty bottles of whiskey. So, drink them. Don't sit on them. Until next time, guys, cheers.